Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a massive cosmic road trip, going straight from our front porch all the way out to the very edge of the known universe. So buckle up and let's dive right in.
You know that feeling when you look up at the night sky and suddenly feel, well, incredibly small, like a tiny speck of dust? It's that classic ping of existential dread. And hey, it is completely okay. We've all been there. But here's the deal I'm making with you today. By the end of this explainer, you aren't just going to see a random empty void. You're actually going to understand your exact literal address in this beautifully organized cosmic map and see exactly how the whole giant puzzle fits together. Here is our flight path for today's spatial zoom out. 1. Our cosmic cul-de-sac. 2. The galactic city. 3. Superclusters and the web. And 4. The observable edge.
All right, starting with part 1, our cosmic cul-de-sac.
If we think of our immediate solar system as a quiet little street where we live, the sun is definitely the ultimate neighborhood landlord at the center. It holds a staggering 99% of the entire solar system's mass, literally 99%. It's the anchor keeping absolutely everything else in line just using its gravity. So how is the rest of our cosmic street laid out? Right next door to the landlord, we've got the inner circle. These are the rocky planets, which includes our home, Earth, alongside neighbors like Mars. Then, travel a bit further down the block, and you hit the outer giants, massive, gaseous worlds like Jupiter and Saturn. Now, every good map has to show you the boundaries, right? Out past those planets, we find the Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud. Think of these regions as the literal boundary fences of our backyard. They're packed with trillions, yes, trillions, of icy leftovers from when the solar system first formed. It's basically our transition zone before we step out of our home and into the great unknown.
Which brings us to part 2, the galactic city. Once we step out the front door, we enter our city, the Milky Way galaxy. It's this giant, glowing, barred spiral, basically a magnificent whirlpool with a distinct bar of stars cutting right through the middle. But you know, we aren't exactly living downtown where all the crazy action is. Earth is actually tucked away way out in the galactic suburbs, right on the inner edge of the Orion Arm, quietly cruising around the center at 500,000 miles per hour. Now, it's honestly kind of hard to wrap your head around a scale shift this massive. Let's try this. If our entire solar system, everything we just talked about, was shrunk down to the size of a single U.S. quarter, the Milky Way galaxy would be the size of the entire United States. Seriously, that is how much bigger our galactic city is compared to our tiny cul-de-sac. And to really drive that point home, just think about the sheer population of this city. We're talking about hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy alone. If you tried to count them at 1 star per second, it would literally take you thousands of years. Oh, and most of those stars, they probably have planets of their own. So hold on to that crazy sense of scale because we're about to make an even bigger jump. Moving right along to part 3, superclusters and the web. So, just like cities cluster together down here on Earth to form sprawling metropolitan areas, galaxies do the exact same thing out in space. We belong to something called the local group. It's a cluster of about 50 galaxies, which includes our Milky Way and our massive neighboring galaxy Andromeda. And quick fun fact, Andromeda is actually on a slow collision course with us, but don't worry, that's not happening for billions of years. But here's the kicker. Even the local group is just a tiny speck on the larger map. We are actually part of the Laniakea Supercluster. I absolutely love this name. In Hawaiian, Laniakea translates to immense heaven, and man, does it live up to the hype. It forms the large-scale structure of our universe, looking almost like a giant cosmic web or like a series of veins where gravity is actively pulling galaxies toward dense centers. The crucial takeaway here is this absolutely jaw-dropping number, 100,000. That is the number of entire galaxies contained within this single massive web. Let that sink in. 100,000 galaxies, each filled with hundreds of billions of stars. The scale of this cosmic web is almost unimaginably vast. And finally, part 4, the observable edge. Okay, because light actually takes time to travel through space, we can only see as far as light has traveled since the dawn of the universe. That physical limit creates a viewing sphere with a radius of roughly 13.8 billion light-years. Basically, it creates a massive bubble all around us, and that bubble is what we call the observable universe. But what exactly lies beyond that sphere? Well, that's where the real mystery kicks in. We honestly don't know for sure. It could go on forever in infinite expansion, or space could somehow curve back on itself, kind of like the surface of the Earth. What we do know from the geography of the universe is that everything is moving. Galaxies are flying away from each other as space itself expands. Our map isn't some static picture. It's a living, breathing, growing thing that we are literally still trying to finish drawing.
All right, let's recap this incredible journey. You started this explainer probably sitting in your room, but now you have your full, multi-tiered cosmic address. Step 1, your neighborhood, the solar system. Step 2, your city, the Milky Way galaxy. Step 3, your metro area, the local group. And Step 4, all of it, perfectly situated inside the vast Laniakea Supercluster.
There's a great quote that says, "Understanding our place in the universe doesn't just make us feel small, it makes us realize how lucky we are to be part of such a massive, intricate system." And you know that feeling of existential dread we talked about right at the very beginning? I really hope it's shifted into a profound sense of connection to this beautifully organized cosmic puzzle. So I want to leave you with a quick question to ponder. If you could instantly travel to any planet, any neighboring galaxy, or out to the edge of any supercluster we discussed today, where would you visit first? Think about your place in the cosmos, keep that curiosity alive, and as always, keep looking up. Catch you in the next explainer.